But what is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So a couple days ago I got a exhaust manifold for the BRZ. Now don't ask me why. I know I always harp on equal length manifolds for Subarus. I don't care. I want the BRZ to sound like a goddamn Subaru, so we're gonna make this car sound like a goddamn Subaru. So I snagged the PLM header. Now, I've never personally used PLM before, but the quality of the exhaust manifold looked relatively decent. I did like an unboxing of it, which I'll put in a couple like clips right here as I'm talking. Now, one thing with this exhaust manifold is I do think it's going to throw a check engine light for O2 catalytic efficiency. Now, they make some little fancy things called O2 foulers that we're going to try to throw in there if that does come up. We'll probably do that in a later video because I don't have any here on hand, so let me show you this manifold. Being completely honest here, I kind of just miss the Subaru sound, and I obviously can't make this car sound like a Subaru anymore, so I'm gonna make the BRZ sound like a Subaru. This manifold was $400, so it's pretty like affordable and friendly. I Cerakoted this the other day, and here's like a quick little snippet of that. Now after Cerakoting it, it's cured for enough time so we can go ahead and get this thing back on the car, or we can go ahead and get it on the car and see what it sounds like. On top of that, I got these little boxes from Japan, if I can get it out of here, for the JDM little side markers. And these little side markers will just replace those orange ones, because I'm gonna be honest, the white ones look a hell of a lot better than those orange ones do. So right now the only thing done to this car exhaust wise is just the Comp MXP RS catback. So we'll give you guys a couple sound clips before we go ahead and swap this manifold out, just so that way if you guys are considering doing an unequal length manifold on your car, you may, or on your 8.6 or BRZ at least, you may know what it'll sound like before and after. I don't think it sounds too, it doesn't sound bad, but we gonna make it sound better. And 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. This always sketches me out. Dope. First thing we got to do is hop down underneath the car, pull off all the heat shields that are in the way to gain access to our exhaust manifold. Then we're gonna have to like come back up here, disconnect the O2 sensors. Look at that, dude. It's like right there. It makes life super easy for us. Disconnect the O2 sensors, drop the manifold. I'll show you guys that manifold compared to the new one. And then we'll kind of see what we're playing with for catalytic converters here, because I know there's a catalytic converter in the header, and then there's another one in the mid pipe. So we still have a cat in the car, we just don't have 2 cats in the car. Do not want to come out. One in the middle. My eyes. Beautiful. Look at that, there's our exhaust manifold. Those bolts are gonna be a real pain in the ass to reach. Let me start pulling this exhaust manifold off. Okay, how do I get you? How the fuck do I get you off? Because these 6 I'm not worried about. These 6 are gonna be easy. But that one, these 2 over here, not. PB blaster and let them soak for a little bit. Subaru, you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do this, man. You chose violence. So right there on where the header connects to the overpipe, there's one bolt right here and then there's one on the other side. When trying to get those off, get the socket on there first and then try to get a wrench on there. I rounded off one of the bolts. I was still able to get it off. I have extras here, so it's not a huge deal. But for those of you that don't actually have any extras, that's gonna be the worst part for you. But yeah, as I was saying, you guys can see the collector right here. It's weird. It's got like these 2 merge into one, these 2 merge into one, and then they all meet at a single collector where the catalytic converter is. So I've already got all 6 bolts broken free that hold the exhaust manifold up onto the car. We've got the 2 that connect to the overpipe over there off. Next, I need to fish out that O2 sensor that we just saw right up there on top of this heat shield, get that unplugged, and then we can drop this whole manifold out and start swapping over our O2 sensors and things like that to get it back into the car. But Jesus, dude, this thing sucks. This thing ain't even a pretty looking manifold. So the O2 sensor is going to be that one gray connector right there. You unplug that, it goes down to the exhaust manifold. We'll take that O2 sensor out of that exhaust manifold once the exhaust manifold is out of the car. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, but actually, you know what? I could probably break it free right now. I'll probably unplug it, break it free, drop it out, and we'll get that thing out. There's a secondary O2 sensor right down there, and it's that black wire that runs, if I can even like try to point to it, that black wire that runs right there. That is these black O2 sensors. So these two right here, the gray one and the black one, are O2 sensors. We're just gonna unplug those, unclip the wiring from the engine block, and then get this thing dropped. Alright, you guys, so this is the manifold that came out of the car. As you guys know, it's an equal length manifold, FA24. After I get these O2 sensors out, we'll I'll flip this thing over and I'll show you guys like the actual runner design on this, because it is a little bit interesting. I just don't want to crush any of these O2 sensors or anything like that. So let's bring over our PLM header. We'll just set it on this piece of cardboard. We'll set it on a new piece of cardboard and swap everything over. Dude, this better make my car sound like a Subaru. I'd be a little upset if it doesn't. Woo, O2 sensor socket for the win. Oh, there we go, beautiful. I need to get that plug off. What is that? This O2 sensor socket should fit, right? 1, 2, 3. Ah! So the whole reason you get like the Subaru rumble is strictly due to this. As you guys can see on the FA24, you have, dude, the Subaru did such a shitty job with the quality on this, other weld and whatnot. That's terrible. But as you guys can see, you got two flex joints. Both of these, so you've got two collectors that merge into one, two collectors that merge into one, and then those two collectors merge into the catalytic converter. So with this, it's just all four collectors going to one right here. So this should give us some maximum Subaru noises. You guys can see just how unequal length this thing is. Compared to this new one. Like, this thing's going to sound wildly different, and I'm excited for it. So let's get this new one installed. I want to see what this thing sounds like. All right, slide my butt in here. You know, I'm kind of glad I Cerakoted this. Now I'm looking at it all. Oh no. Come on, you're right there. Dude, Subaru headers never want to go on. Okay, let me get a bolt up here on this one just to hold this side in. What fun would it be if everything was easy? Did I take out my little baby stubby 14? Like, this bolts up. I definitely don't bolt up to that though. Alright, well that's disappointing and sucks. Yeah, this thing, it does not line up. Even when you try to stretch it as much as you can, you still get a decent sized gap. So maybe some FA20 headers fit FA24s, but I can reassure you that this PLM one does not. It's like a solid ½ inch off between that overpipe and that exhaust manifold, which sucks because I really wanted to hear this thing with an unequal length manifold. So I guess I'll tear this thing back off the car, put the stock manifold back on. But all is not lost, because I also have a splitter back here that I want to throw on the BRZ, that Infamous Aero sent over, that I just haven't had time to throw on. Now that I've got time to throw it on, we're gonna do this today. Let me just time lapse getting that manifold back on the car, getting the other one back out of the car. Well, that's just a pain in the ass, dude. That's stupid. Dumb. All right, stock manifold back on. That thing was a pain in the ass to get back on. Like, it sucked. It just didn't want to line up. You have to line up the studs in the overpipe first and then get the manifold on, and it's just a shit show trying to get it to all fit together. So now that that's on, I'm gonna get these JDM corner lights on, and then we're also going to swap. We're not going to swap, we're going to install a splitter that I've had sitting around for a little while from Infamous Aero. So let's get this bumper yeeted off this car real quick and start doing this other fun stuff. At least we can do some aesthetics to the car instead of making it sound like an STI, since that was a total fail. Happens. Good to know that that one doesn't fit. So we've got the bumper off the car. Bumper on these things are super easy to take off. There's just all these clips up top that you got to undo, the ones on the bottom and then the ones on the sides. Now for these side markers, these things are really easy to swap out. They're just held in with a 10 mil. And then they just pop right out via those couple clips right there. So undo the 110 mil, undo that top clip, undo that bottom clip. It'll pop right out and then we can put the new ones in. So let's start with those and then we'll start getting our diffuser, our little splitter guy, put onto our bumper here, our beautiful bumper. I'm also trying to beat the rain if I can, because obviously I can't pull it into the garage with our STI taking up all the room right now. Hey, yeah. All right, this little 10 mil comes out. There we go. Old one's out. We don't like the orange ones. It really looks like it's about to start raining. I'm gonna be really annoyed if it does, because then I gotta go crawl back in the back on the wet ground. Dude, white ones look way, oh, those look way better. Dude, the design on these is way better than the first gen. Like, if we're being honest here, the first gen ones where they were right up on the corner, that annoyed the hell out of me, dude, because they'd never stay back in, they never clip back in right. Never would. Get this guy in. Should just push right in. Yep, easy peasy lemon squeezy. New side markers are in. I'm gonna be honest, they look way better than the orange ones did. Like, look at that. Can't tell me that the white one's better. It is. I can tell you one thing, I did not beat the rain. Whatevs. So this thing should be pretty easy to install. It uses all the stock mounting holes going across the bumper. I know we're gonna have to drill a couple holes through the bumper just to use some of the screws provided, because they go up through the little plastic air dam that supports the bottom of the bumper here. So let me start going through this. I'm just gonna start figuring it out. After I kind of get where everything goes and we figured out what holes need to be drilled, I'll show you guys, because right now I don't really know. So let's figure this thing out. Let's do the thing. Yo, real talk, this bumper looks way better. I have an OEM STI lip on the way. When that comes in, I'm gonna put that on the car and I'm gonna make this work with it, so that way we have like a nice lip diffuser style look on the car. Remember, the BRZ is not a race car, it's my daily driver. That's my race car. So, with these OEM little flasher light guy dealios, whatever you wanna call them, and this like splitter, looks fantastic. Super easy to install this also. Like last time I tried to do this, I tried to do it with the bumper on the car and I just wasn't sure what I was doing. Taking it off the car, all you gotta do is just drill those holes out with 5/16 drill bits, and then you literally just use the provided hardware and they all just mount up super easy on the backside of this. So pretty happy with this. I'm excited to see what it looks like back on the car. It stopped raining for the time being, so let's throw this thing back on there. Yo, the lighting right here is kind of poop, but dude, that literally changes the entire front end of the car and makes it look 1,000 times better. I really want the JDM bezels for the bumper, which I think is going to be the next thing I order. I think I'm gonna hold off on doing more performance stuff to this up until more R&D has come out, because I just don't want to keep buying performance parts. They kind of fit, they don't really fit for like FA20 stuff based off of this, but dude, that looks so freaking good. I'm gonna like those clear side markers and that splitter alone changed the whole front end. So I'm gonna get this thing flipped around real quick so that way we can debadge the Subaru. I might just take off the BRZ off the back bumper too. So let's get this guy flipped around real quick. It's not gonna sound like a Subaru because obviously something didn't fit. Goodbye, R. And they made the letters on this side so freaking tiny, dude. Oh my god, dude. They literally just like fall right off. Yeah, I'm much happier with the front end on this car now. With that splitter and those clear little side markers, dude, it really makes the BRZ's front end look a lot better. I was kind of mismatched on it at first, but after seeing it with just some modifications on it, dude, minty. Let me get this thing cleaned up and washed real quick while I have a little bit of sunlight, because it's absolutely filthy, and I want to go take a couple photos of this thing. Honestly, trunk looks way better debadged in my opinion. The whole car looks better cleaned up, but I mean, the trunk just looks better. Dude, the front end looks way better with that splitter on there and those things, dude. And all cleaned up, dude, I'm about it. So if you guys are looking for that splitter, like I said, Infamous Aero up in Canada sent that over. So huge, I believe they're up in Canada. So huge shout out to Infamous Aero, dude. Like, that makes the whole front end look far more aggressive, and it fills out the bumper way more, especially since the car's on bag. So this video definitely did not go as planned as I wanted it to. I was really expecting that exhaust manifold to actually fit. I saw a lot of people online saying that the FA20 ones fit. I guess it's hit or miss on some of them. That one was about an inch off from where the overpipe is. Kind of sucks, but whatevs. At least we test fit and we know now. So if anyone's looking for a fancy catless header for a BRZ, let me know. I'll ship if you want it. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. So I think I'm gonna start doing more BRZ mods. I want to do some more exterior stuff to this. Like I said, I think I'm gonna wait a little bit on doing some of the performance stuff up until more gets released, because I don't want to be doing this hit or miss thing with parts like, they kind of fit, they might not fit kind of thing. So we're gonna do some cosmetics, some other stuff. I still have to get those cone eggs on the car. I just need to buy tires for them, so I'll probably do that next paycheck. But if you guys like the video, you know, do go and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. So it's really just like an intermediate video until I get the rest of the stuff for the STI. Now that the STI stuff is starting to wrap up, I'm not spending as much money on the STI as I used to. It frees up some funds for the Evo and the BRZ, and I want to do some stuff to those cars. So if you guys aren't subscribed and you want to be, I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you to do it. It'll be in one of these corners if you do want to do it. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.